Since 2019, when King Maha Vajiralongkorn of Thailand broke tradition by marrying Queen Suthida and then appointing royal consort Saninat, shocking the world with his practice of polygamy, the dramatic court intrigues in Thailand have become increasingly captivating. Here's a brief introduction for those who may not be very familiar with the current Thai royal family. The current king of Thailand, Maha Vajiralongkorn, ascended to the throne after the previous king died in 2016 and was officially crowned in 2019. He is widely known for his scandalous and extravagant behavior. The current Queen of Thailand, Suthida, was a flight attendant before catching the king's eye and being rapidly promoted to the rank of general. She officially became queen on May 1, 2019. The royal consort of Thailand, Saninat, was a nurse before being noticed by the king and granted multiple military ranks and positions. She held the title of royal consort from July to October 2019. The year 2019 was a significant one for the King of Thailand, as he finally held a grand coronation ceremony at nearly 70 years old. Although he had already ascended the throne in 2016, the coronation had been delayed out of respect for his late father, the previous king. It wasn't until 2019 that the ceremony was held in grand style. 3 days before the coronation, the king officially married Suthida, who was then the deputy commander of the Royal Household Guard, thereby formally establishing her as Queen Suthida. Suthida had to wait a long time for the position of queen. In 2013, she transitioned from being a flight attendant to joining the security team protecting the Crown Prince, who is now the King of Thailand. At that time, she was appointed as a special officer in the Crown Prince's Guard. Her rapid rise was astonishing, promoted to Major General in 2 years and to General in 3, so much so that it's hard to believe there were no special channels involved. After the king divorced, he occasionally brought her to public events. In recent years, international media referred to her as the king's companion, but the royal family never officially announced their relationship, leaving Suthida in an awkward position. The King of Thailand is quite the playboy, constantly involved with new romantic interests, which must make Suthida feel quite insecure. Even though she was officially announced as the queen of the country, with a position second only to the king, Suthida's fortunes are still tied to him. The king has the power to elevate her to the status of queen, but he can also publicly humiliate her. Less than 3 months after Suthida was given the title of queen, the king made a point of promoting his new lover, Saninat, on his 67th birthday, elevating her to the rank of royal consort. To maintain her dignity as queen, Suthida had to attend the ceremony and witness Saninat's grand entry into the palace. Looking at the photo of Saninat prostrating on the ground, bowing to the king and queen, it resembles a scene from a palace drama where a favored consort pays respects to the emperor and empress. One might seriously question what era we are truly living in. The rise of royal consort Saninat closely mirrors that of Suthida. Similarly, Saninat, having caught the king's eye, transitioned from being a nurse to joining the royal guard, becoming a bodyguard and pilot, and quickly rising to the rank of brigadier general. As the first royal consort of Thailand in nearly a century, Saninat's favor is evident. After being appointed as royal consort, the royal family also released a series of her photos, including images of her posing in a short top on a fighter jet. In less than 3 months, just when the public thought the King of Thailand was elevating his royal consort to new heights, Saninat suddenly fell out of favor. On October 21, 2019, the king stripped Saninat of all her titles, honors, and military ranks, and announced to inform the nation. Why was Saninat suddenly dismissed? The official reason given was inappropriate behavior and disloyalty toward the king, and an attempt to replace the queen, elevating herself to the same status as the queen. It must be said, these statements sound exactly like the jargon of palace intrigue, as if the emperor casually issued an imperial decree, sentencing the once favored consort to imprisonment, her fate uncertain. Such content, steeped in feudal autocracy, feels utterly detached from reality for those of us living in modern society. It's hard to take it seriously and can only be viewed as if watching a palace drama. But for Saninat, who had defied the king and queen, her fate had already been sealed. The emperor's affection faded as quickly as a whirlwind, and it could be deadly. Shortly after the news of her dismissal broke, rumors quickly spread that Seninat had died. Seninat's chapter has come to an end for now, and this time, Queen Suthida has managed to defeat a formidable rival, gaining a slight advantage. However, in the palace, everyone might be a loser. During the pandemic, the king took 20 mistresses with him on a luxury vacation to a hotel in Germany, and his debauched behavior sparked widespread public outrage. But the King of Thailand doesn't care at all. He has always done as he pleases. Moreover, Thailand has strict laws stipulating that anyone accused of defaming, tarnishing, or insulting the king will face severe punishment. In one instance, someone posted a satirical comment on social media about the previous king's pet dog and was arrested, potentially facing a total of 37 years in prison. The current king inherited assets worth up to $30 billion and controls military power, allowing him to act even more recklessly. So, it's not surprising that he could take 20 mistresses on vacation while leaving the Thai people to suffer through the pandemic. People have pretty much grown used to the King of Thailand's bizarre antics, but the most surprising twist was that Seninat, who was long expected to exit the stage, suddenly made a grand comeback. The king was far away in Germany, surrounded by 20 mistresses, enjoying a life of pleasure, cycling daily, and living like a carefree god. So, why did he suddenly think of the former consort he had dismissed? Pay attention, a key new character is about to enter the scene, Oronong Siriwachirafak, one of the king's mistresses in Germany. It is said that Oronong was once a lady-in-waiting to Seninat. After Seninat fell out of favor and was imprisoned, Oronong began to rise in status and was quite successful, accompanying the king to Germany and becoming a member of the royal cycling team. There are rumors that it was this loyal lady-in-waiting who, by whispering in the king's ear, reminded him of the former royal consort Seninat, whom he had dismissed. Other rumors suggest that it was because this lady-in-waiting, who resembles Seninat, constantly hovered around the king, making him think of Seninat. I believe it's unlikely that the King of Thailand is reminded of Seninat when he sees Oronong. The women in his German harem at that time all looked quite similar, short-haired, spirited young ladies of a similar type. It's improbable that seeing one would make him think of another. As for why the king was so pleased and went out of his way to welcome the royal consort back in such a grand manner, only he knows the true reason. Regardless, Seninat's reinstatement shocked many of us. Moreover, the king's seemingly welcoming back his true love attitude only adds to the confusion. Not only did the king release Seninat from prison, but as soon as she regained her freedom, she was quickly serving at his side, with the king sending a private plane to bring her to Germany. The king, dressed in his usual tank top, personally went to Munich airport to pick up his beloved consort, and they went straight to a luxury hotel together. Compared to this, Queen Suthida, who has been living alone in Switzerland, seems almost forgotten. Previously, people thought Queen Suthida's position was secure, but now it seems not so certain. However, she may have been mentally prepared, as the fates of King's previous 3 wives, except for his first wife who was also of royal birth, were quite tragic. His second wife, Sujarini, gave him 5 children, 4 sons and 1 daughter. His third wife, Srirasmi, is the one who was involved in a scandal, nearly naked, wearing only a thong while celebrating the birthday of the king's beloved dog. She also gave the king a son. Both of these princesses can be said to have sacrificed a lot for the king, with Srirasmi humbling herself to the extreme, yet neither of them had a good ending. Sujarini was exiled, along with her 4 sons, and forbidden from returning to the country. Srirasmi was directly stripped of her title and reduced to a commoner. The fate of the king's 4th wife, Suthida, remains uncertain. Given the current situation, her husband's unceasing womanizing, the new mistress's watchful gaze over her position, and Seninat's return to favor after being released from prison, Suthida's current feelings are likely far from pleasant. In reality, within the king's vast harem, whether it be the 3 previous wives who have become part of the past, or the current Suthida, Seninat, and the countless mistresses, they all live much like characters in a palace drama, existing in dependence on the will of the monarch. Such a reality might not seem out of place in a palace drama, given its setting, but it is quite shocking in modern society. These women, especially those who have been cast aside by the royal family, have never had the opportunity to voice their situations. Even now, with Seninat seemingly restored to favor, if the king hadn't recalled her, she might have indeed died quietly in prison, as rumors suggest. What is more terrifying than palace intrigue is the persistence of royal power in the modern era. Since 2006, when the Thai royal army staged a coup and the previous king, who held no real power, was reinstated with military authority, the Thai monarchy has continually demonstrated its desire for power. In 2019, the two most important military units in Bangkok began to take direct orders from the royal family. Given the trend of the Thai monarchy's desire to consolidate military power and the king's assets exceeding $30 billion, the king's power will only grow stronger, and he will act with even fewer constraints. This lack of restraint will manifest in many areas, including the arbitrary treatment of the harem. Queen Suthida, consort Seninat, new favorite Oronong, and countless future mistresses will all likely become victims of power abuse, with their fates entirely controlled by those in power. The drama of the Thai royal harem may not see a conclusive end for a long time to come.